Hi there, and welcome to Gibohinc. I'm Mercedes, and thank you for clicking in once again. I truly appreciate it. My friends, my comadres, my compadres, today's subject, I want to first and foremost tell you that it is a subject that I am both guilty of and a victim of. So I don't want you to think that I'm pointing fingers or I'm accusing anybody. It is only a subject that, as I'm guilty and a victim of, I just feel that I should talk about. That's really it. Now, the subject is that of verbal communication with friends, family, or acquaintances that are of an older age. Okay? Again, so that is verbal communication with the older friends, family, or acquaintances. And I'm talking about this because during the last few weeks, as I do some research for some future segmental presentations, I found that a lot of people were expressing this frustration, and most of them were older people. And I'm talking about older, what do you say older? If you may excuse me, by the way, I'm talking about people who are in their 70s, late 70s, okay? Some are in their 60s, but I'm talking about those generations. You know, some of the emotions that they were expressing, I just felt so emotionally disturbed by how they were expressing their frustrations. I mean, these people are people who are just loving family members, I think, at least from what I could see. And they were telling me that, actually I asked them, oh, have you checked out some of these segments that I've done? And, for the most part, the answers were no. And why was that? Because they really are not that savvy with the communication modes that we're using today, meaning like the Twitters, the Facebook, the Instagram, etc. And they don't communicate as much. So I mentioned, well, how do you keep in touch with your family? They said, well, they really don't. They don't. A lot of the cases, they depend on somebody to tell them how somebody is doing, because some of the younger generations, the nieces, the nephews, the children, etc., they are on the Twitters and on the Facebook, and they're texting, and they don't reach out to them. You guys, listen, I can imagine, I'm not old, neither am I going to tell anybody, hey, I'm getting old, because I'm not getting anything. But you know what, besides the fact, I could imagine what it's like, or I cannot imagine, I shall say, what it's like to be getting older, or to have to deal with the aging process, and also have to deal with some of the expressions that these people were mentioning to me. I mean, you're talking about people who are feeling, and I'm not making this up, this is what they were telling me. They're telling me things like they feel neglected, they feel out of touch, they feel forgotten, they feel frustrated, they have lack of knowledge, they feel used, unappreciated. Come on, is there really an excuse? Really, should our family members who are getting older be feeling like this? I mean, some of these people are people who are responsible for us being where we are. Again, I don't want to say that I'm pointing fingers or anything. I'm just saying this because as I am one who is guilty of it, I am also one who is the victim of it. So please, guys, do not think that I'm pointing fingers. It is not the case. If you feel that way, I'm sorry that you do. All I want to say to you is, if you have an older friend, a family member, or an acquaintance that you have not called lately, please try to call them. Just pick up the phone and call them. You may say, oh, there's such a pain in the beep, because all they do is complain, and the first thing they're going to say, oh, you haven't called me. Yes, the first thing they're going to say is, you haven't called me. But guess what? You haven't called. But then you get past that. That only lasts like a minute or so. Then after that, you start talking about how things are going and how you're doing and how they're doing. And before you know it, they start telling you stories about your childhood and you start laughing, and it's such a fabulous feeling. I myself want to tell you that I become ecstatically happy when I call an older family member and I just talk to them and they tell me stories and we laugh. And sometimes they tell me the same stories that they've told before, and I love it. And you know what? I know that if you do that, you call somebody who you haven't talked to in a while, you're going to love it. Not only are you going to like that they're going to be appreciating your phone call, but they're going to appreciate that you are calling them. They're going to love hearing from you. You guys, reach out and call somebody. And if you feel as if I am pointing fingers, again, I must apologize because that is not the case. I just thought that because I am doing so much research and so many older people are expressing some of these feelings, I thought it's something that I should talk about. And remember, like I said to you, I am a victim of it and I am guilty of it, but starting not tomorrow, maybe the day after tomorrow, I am going to call another person who I've not talked to in a long time. And hopefully they will appreciate it. I know that they will. In any event, until the next time, please, please, please follow me on Twitter. My Twitter account is at Gibohinc. That is at Gibohinc. I am also on Instagram. I am on Facebook. I'm on WhatsApp. I am everywhere. Like me. I appreciate it. Thank you. Until the next time.